Hey everybody, welcome to Kevin's Auto Channel. I'm Kevin Walters, and today I want to talk to you about 5 different warnings when you find yourself on or near a car lot. So over the years, I've made a lot of mistakes when it comes to buying and trading vehicles. And I want to take this time to share with you some of the mistakes that I've made and to give you some warnings and signs to look out for when you find yourself on a dealership car lot. So, number 1, if you are a compulsive shopper, and I am, do not go onto car lots. Just don't go onto car lots unless you are very serious about purchasing a new vehicle if you're in need. And I would strongly advise, before you even step onto that car lot, being a compulsive shopper, do your research. Research at home first. Research the internet. And, browse different makes and models. And when you find something you like, do 2 things. Number 1, go onto a website like Consumer Reports and find out the ratings, find out the reliability of the vehicle, find out if it takes a lot of maintenance to keep up that vehicle. And number 2, go to YouTube. YouTube is a wonderful platform, and it can give you a lot of insight onto a vehicle. A lot of times, you can go on YouTube and you will find a long-term review of a vehicle. Watch those videos and see, is this vehicle, this car or truck that I'm looking at, is it worth my hard-earned money? I can think back, I had a beautiful Dodge Challenger RT, and I loved this car, but I was a little discouraged because I knew Dodges didn't keep their resale value really well, but in the time it took, I guess it was about a little over a year, and this Challenger had dropped from the value of the sticker was like $42,000, and it was only worth like $22,000, $23,000. And that discouraged me, and I found myself one day, it was a Saturday, I can remember, and I said, I'm going to go on to this Honda dealership and just look around and see what they have to offer. And I started looking at Accords. And so, me being a compulsive shopper, I started thinking, I could save a lot of money on gas with this car. It wouldn't cost me anything. The maintenance on it wouldn't be anything. Wouldn't have to worry about it breaking down. Hondas are very reliable. Toyotas also. And the next thing I knew, I was in the dealership after test driving it because I was curious. But being the compulsive shopper that I am, I found myself inside the dealership, sitting down. The most vulnerable thing you can do in a dealership is sit down and talk. And the next thing I knew, I had traded my beautiful Dodge Challenger RT for a Honda Accord. Now, I'm a muscle car guy. I'm a truck guy. And going from a 5.7 liter Hemi V8 to a 1.5 liter turbo 4-cylinder is quite a shock. But I was in that compulsive shopper mode, and I regret that to this day. I wish I would have never went on that car lot that day. I would still be I would more than likely be in that Challenger still today if I had not gone onto that car lot. So if you're a compulsive shopper, do not go onto car lots. Just stay away from them. So number 2, if you find yourself on a car lot and you've done your research and you're interested and you're thinking about purchasing that particular vehicle, please take a good test drive and make sure that that is the vehicle for you. Now, a lot of times when you say, all right, let me take a test drive, they'll get your license and they'll rush off into the dealership, make a copy of your license, and come back with that temporary tag and slap it on the back. And you'll get in the car and he'll start showing you a few features, and you start the car up and you start going down the road, and he'll just take you around the block because he's wanting you to get back to the dealership after being inside the car, driving it, taking that test drive. You're very vulnerable at this point, and he's wanting to get you back into that car dealership, into the showroom, and sit you down so that all of a sudden you're talking to the manager and you're negotiating. But slow him down, him or her, whoever it is, the salesperson, and drive the car in the city and stop and go traffic, red lights, drive it on the highway so you can see what kind of pep it has. Are you going to be comfortable driving it? Especially if you have a long commute to work every day, make sure you're going to really enjoy this car, because this is a big purchase. And then while you're on the test drive, have the salesman show you different features of the car. If it has new technology like lane keep assist, the new cruise control that won't let you run into the back of somebody. It automatically slows down. I can't think of the term for it right now, but anyway, you know what I'm talking about. If it has special features like that, especially if it has big technology in it, get them to show you the different technology of the vehicle, the nav system, the infotainment, all the different things it can do. And just really, really take your time before you get back to the dealership and get inside. So, tip number 3, or warning number 3, when you're ready to purchase that vehicle, take the time. Hopefully you've been doing this all along, but take time to save up a down payment, preferably 10 to 20%. What's going to happen is, as soon as you sign the papers, you've made the deal, you drive the car off of the lot. As soon as those tires hits the road, that vehicle has dropped approximately 20% in value that very second, and you haven't even put 1/10 of a mile on it. So please save up, put a down payment down, and this will eat that initial depreciation of the car. And let's say you test drove it and you was in love with it at the moment, but 6 months to a year later down the road, you're not happy with that vehicle anymore. When you go to trade this vehicle in, you're not going to take the hit of the depreciation. It's called being upside down when you go to trade. And that's basically car dealership lingo for owing more on the car than the car is actually worth at that time. And that will actually roll over into your new car loan. And now, instead of paying, say, $30,000 for a new car, now you're going to be paying $35,000 for that car, because that money that you still owe on the other car has now rolled over, because the dealership didn't give you as much for your old car than what you owed on it. So be careful with that. The more you put down, the better you're going to be. you don't want to end up upside down on a trade. And hopefully you've done your research enough and you were level-headed enough to know you were getting the right car when you made the deal in the first place.
If you haven't already, please hit that subscribe button, ring that bell notification so you know every time I drop a video, and please like this video. It really helps the channel out. I want to hit 1,000 subscribers in the next couple of months. Let's make it happen.
So, number 4, it is okay to walk away from a car deal if you are not satisfied. Don't let the salesman or the sales manager pressure you into a deal that you're not comfortable with. They will try every sales tactic they can to get you to sign the paper. Remember, you have to live with this car loan for years to come. You're going to be paying every month, every, say, 4 weeks on this vehicle for years down the road. So you want to take your time and you want to negotiate the best deal that you possibly can. And don't be afraid to get up and walk away and say, you know, I'm sorry, we can't come to a deal. I'm sorry I wasted your time. And get up and walk away. And, you know, you may be surprised. The salesman or the manager may come chasing after you and say, hold up, let's see what we can do. And you may end up with the deal that you were looking for. But don't be afraid to get up and walk away. And on that note, anytime during the car buying process, even if you're in the finance office, if you start to feel uneasy about the deal that you're making, if you're thinking, you know, I hope I can make this car payment every month. If you're thinking that, then no matter what they try to tell you, the car deal is not officially binding. It's not officially done until you get into the vehicle and drive it off of the lot. As soon as the tires hit the public roadway, then that car is yours. In states like here in South Carolina, once that happens, you don't have a 3-day grace period. And so if you feel uneasy at all, even if you signed a bunch of paperwork in the finance office, you can still walk away from that deal no matter what they tell you, because it's not binding until you get in the vehicle and drive it off the lot. So, and don't forget, you know, if you're not comfortable with the deal that you're making, but you still want the car and you know you can afford it, there's more than that one dealership in a radius that's reasonable for you to travel to. So, don't be afraid, like I said, to get up, walk away from the deal, and say, I'm sorry, this isn't it. And if you go to another dealership, another car lot with the same, looking for the same vehicle, and they don't have the one, but the one you was looking at is the one you want, a lot of times they can ship that vehicle to that other dealership, and you can still get the car that you was driving that you were happy with. So, you know, don't be afraid to stand up. Don't be afraid to stand up to the dealerships, to the salesmen, to the managers, because this is your money. It's not their money. They're just trying to make a sale. But this is your hard-earned money that you're wanting to use to purchase a vehicle that you want. All right, enough on that one. Number 5, don't let the finance manager talk you into a lot of extra add-ons once you get into his office, his or her office. Things like an extended warranty, a maintenance package, a paint protection package, an interior protection package, life insurance. All of these things are not necessary to buy a vehicle. And if you opt in for those options, you're going to be paying $50 to $100 more per month maybe even more on top of your car payment. So let's say you have a $400 car payment, and you go into, this is what you've agreed to. You've initialed or signed the initial paperwork with the salesman saying that, yes, I'm comfortable paying this amount. You get into the finance manager's office, and they start throwing all these packages at you. Your car payment goes from $400 a month to nearly $500 or over $500 a month if you add all of this stuff on. And all this stuff is stuff to make the dealership money. So don't let the finance manager bully you into taking this extra stuff, because that's all it is stuff. And 9 times out of 10, you won't use any of it. Be mindful of the budget that you are working with. And remember that these things are not necessary. Now, there is one thing that I would recommend you do get, especially if you can't put a large down payment, and that is called gap insurance. Now, gap insurance is a little different, but it's a good different. So let's say you're driving this vehicle 3 months down the road, and God forbid you get into an accident and you total this new vehicle. And let's say the new value, depreciated value of this vehicle is $25,000, but you still owe $30,000 on this vehicle. So the insurance company, your insurance company, will cut you a check for $25,000 for the vehicle. But you still owe $5,000 to the bank because the insurance company didn't cover the extra $5,000 that you still owe on the car. That's where gap insurance kicks in, and the gap insurance will pay the extra $5,000 so that you walk away, hopefully, from the accident not owing anything, and you can just go get a different vehicle, or the same make and model if you really liked it. So that's the one thing that I would recommend that you do get. And the good thing about gap insurance is it's cheap. It's usually around $750 for gap insurance, and it only adds like $5 to $10 to your car payment every month. So that is a good investment, and that is the one thing that I would strongly suggest that you do take advantage of. So that was 5. I'm going to give you a 6th bonus one, and this is just overall good advice, and that is, don't become car poor. A vehicle is a big life purchase, second only to buying a home. And you don't want to max out your monthly budget with a car payment because you never know what's going to be coming down the road that you may need a little extra cash for. You may want to pay extra on a credit card and get that thing paid off. But if your budget is maxed out with a car payment, you'd have no leeway to do anything. You're strapped. So there's no worse feeling than knowing you don't have any extra spending money because you've got to save every penny to make your car payment every month. And that is all the more reason to save extra and make a great down payment when you do purchase a vehicle. Pay at least 20% down. And that not only takes the initial depreciation factor out of the equation, but it also helps your monthly payment by lowering it. So usually every $1,000 that you borrow on a car loan is roughly around $20 per month. So if you pay $6,000 down on a vehicle, that's That's $120 per month that you could be saving. So try to save that down payment, and better yet, try to pay off your car note early. If you can, if you've worked within your budget, you haven't maxed out your budget, every month that you can, pay extra on that car loan. That will not only eat away at the interest, but it's going to shorten the length of term that you do pay on that car, and you can pay it off early. Another good thing to do is, instead of paying on it once a month, pay on it every 2 weeks. So especially if you get paid every 2 weeks, take half of your money, take half the payment, and go ahead and pay that half the payment. This will really eat away at the interest, and you will find out that you will really shorten the term of your loan, especially if you're able to pay extra every 2 weeks. That is greatly going to impact and reduce your loan. So that was 5 with an extra bonus tips and warnings when you're looking at buying a new car. These are all mistakes that I've made over the years, and I've learned the hard way. And when you're on a car lot, it's easy to lose focus. It's easy to lose your reasoning, especially when you have an eager salesman who's salivating at the mouth to make another sale. Be careful. Do your research. Don't let the salesman and don't let the sales manager bully you and push you around and make them take their deal. You have to take control of the car deal. You have the negotiating power. It's your money, not theirs. They're there to make a sale. You're there to make a wise decision. So, this is Kevin Walters. Thank you for watching Kevin's Auto Channel. Please hit that subscribe button, like this video, and let me know what are the mistakes that you've made on a car lot before. Have you made a poor car buying decision? Let me know in the comments down below. I look forward to hearing from you, and I hope you have a great day today.